Oh, hello, good evening, Dr. Sophie.
Hi, Karolina. Lovely to see you.
Likewise, finally, we wasn't sure if we had a little technical glitch. We were,
Yeah, I was trying to join, but it didn't seem to want to connect.
no, classic, of course. Thank you so much for making time to be here with us tonight, Dr. Sophie.
My
Um,
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
it's a lovely Monday evening, and I thought what we could do first is do little introductions about
Mm.
ourselves, and then I have a very nice list that has been sent by our followers. They have a number of questions they'd like to ask you
Yeah.
about ChitoCare and Chitosan, and I can see that people are already sending in their comments. So bear with us. We'll try to get through this one at a time. But welcome everybody. Thank you for taking time to be here tonight and join this ChitoCare Beauty Instagram live. For those of you that haven't met me before, my name is Karolina, and I'm lead aesthetician.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you, Dr. Sophie.
Hay fever. Sorry.
I am lead esthetician here in UK for ChitoCare Beauty. And of course, we have Dr. Sophie, who's a very well-known name in the industry. For most, we don't need an introduction. But Dr. Sophie is an award-winning dermatologist, cosmetic doctor, a lead expert in the industry over the last 15 years. And I know your time is really precious because you're busy running your Illuminate Skin Clinic in Kent and your Harley Street practice in London. So we are very honored to have you on board, Dr. Sophie.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Now, we're going to go straight into it, Dr. Sophie,
Hmm.
because you are so well known and renowned for being, a patriot in science-led skincare. And I can just imagine that, being a dermatologist, you have access to so much, so many active ingredients, so many different brands. I feel like brands are popping up left, right, and center. It's really hard to keep up. Give us a little insight, Dr. Sophie. What first caught your attention to ChitoCare Beauty and particularly our unique ingredient, Chitosan, please?
Mm. So, first of all, I will say I'm not a dermatologist. I'm an aesthetic doctor, but with postgraduate qualifications in clinical dermatology as well. But
Thank
skin is my real passion. So, as you say, I'm always super interested in science. I'm watching what comes out from a scientifically backed standpoint all the time. So for me, innovation matters, but it only matters if it's backed by science. And Chitosan isn't an ingredient that you see every day. You don't see it in every formulation. It's still really novel. But actually, it's a natural biopolymer that is, well, in this case, harvested from the waters around Iceland, which are renowned for being really pure. And it's a really interesting ingredient because actually, and again, it addresses an issue I see so much amongst my patients, amongst people I speak to today. It's really good for helping retain moisture in the skin, supporting the skin barrier in its health, and really calming inflammation. And again, it's come from a medical pedigree, and the ChitoCare products. There are really amazing medical applications as well, and now we're harnessing them in an aesthetic and beauty capacity as well.
That's a very interesting point you have made, Dr. Sophie, because I think like previously or historically, we would have active ingredients that are particularly good at one particular thing. So either they
Mm.
would be for, water retention and moisture properties. They would either offer antioxidant properties or some sort of antibacterial support, whereas Chitosan is this ingredient that is all in one, especially
Mm.
suitable for sensitive skin types. On that note, Dr. Sophie, for those that are watching and perhaps, for those that might be interested in working with ChitoCare Beauty and
Mm.
having this ingredient, they might be hearing about it for the very first time. Sort of like briefly, what's the science behind it?
So, chitosan, which is the key ingredient, is derived from something like chitin. Sorry, something called chitin. And this is the second most abundant natural polymer on Earth. after something called cellulose, which you may have heard from. And it's got this really unique molecular structure. So it's biodegradable, it has antimicrobial properties, and it also forms this film on the skin. So very, very unique. And it's also got a positive ionic charge, which means that it can bind to the negatively charged proteins in your skin. And this is how it forms that film. So it sort of sits almost on the top and helps us to protect our skin barrier. So that helps to lock water in so that we reduce moisture loss. It helps to protect the skin from irritants. And also helps to encourage wound healing. So it is, as you said, a real multitasker, which is quite unusual to find nowadays. But one thing I always say to so many of my patients nowadays is that the most important thing we can have is a healthy skin barrier. If we want our skin to age well, doesn't matter if you're using a retinoid as much. So that's less important than having a healthy barrier. And so even though all of these things are separate, like the hydration, the barrier health, the reduction of inflammation, they are all related to the health of that skin barrier, keeping what's meant to be in and keeping what's meant to be out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you made a really good point there as well, because for people that are perhaps not from a medical background or aesthetic background, but are, maybe skincare savvy, I think this is particularly useful to know that things like Chitosan could be used on a daily basis. Would you recommend using Chitosan on a daily basis, Dr. Sophie?
Absolutely, morning and night. It's a really good addition to so many routines.
I can actually really resonate with this. I have had polycystic ovaries since my early 20s. And it's exactly what you said about retinol. It's been certainly a journey, quite stressful at times. And, I think Ketosan for me has been a turning point because it previously with other active ingredients like, salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide offers antimicrobial properties and support. It would also come at a price of compromising the lipid barrier. So,
Absolutely.
I am now of an age where I am interested in some anti-aging things, but things like, our standard vitamin C antioxidant or, peptides are unfortunately too stimulating. So I'm a religious use of ChitoCare Beauty. And, I'm at peace knowing that my acne is nicely controlled, but, my collagen synthesis, it's at its optimum. I have heard, correct me if I'm wrong, that you have already started using our ChitoCare Repair Serum
Mm.
in your practice with some of your treatments.
Yeah.
Tell us how and why, please.
So the anti-aging repair serum, and it works on so many different levels. So as we're aging, fluid retention becomes an issue in the skin, moisture retention, and it helps to retain that moisture, but also supports natural collagen production, helps with antioxidant protection, and clinical studies, which for me, I always want to see with a product, have shown that it can really reduce the appearance of fine lines and deeper wrinkles, but also improve the appearance of surface tone and texture and radiance. So it's a really good option for people with sensitivity, redness, or premature aging who want to be proactive.
Absolutely. And I think there is a notion with a lot of people that they can have in clinic treatments to stimulate, the collagen, the skin
Mm,
proliferation. But I think exactly what you said, that supporting the barrier, optimizing skin health,
mm,
and using products on a daily basis is what's going to give them the ultimate result. So,
yeah.
just to clarify for our viewers, the skincare products that you are using in your professional setting are exactly the same for home use, or is there a difference?
No, they're exactly the same. It just might be that we might use them in different ways, or we might combine them with certain treatments. So, for example, with microneedling, radiofrequency, or even injectables. Because the skin's in repair mode at those times, it's a really good opportunity to help support it. And by using the ChitoCare products, we can support skin recovery, reduce the downtime, and keep the skin hydrated and calm, which is all amazing for post-procedure care. But on the other hand, patients just love using it. They're really nice products to use. And so for home use, you might not need those benefits of it. You might not need to reduce downtime, but you still want to improve fluid retention. You want to stimulate collagen production. So it's a great option for home use as well.
Fantastic. Um, Going back to brands, exactly what we said, there is just so much to choose out there. And I guess for someone like yourself, who has this weight on, your shoulders to be, offering the best for your patients, you have to see. So we have, this amazing ingredient Chitosan, and I feel like, other brands have these amazing ingredients as well, but you have to see the bigger picture. Um, what were the what were the main points that made you want to have ChitoCare in your clinic? Was there anything like, right, this brand, I need to have that on my table?
So for me, it's the combination of scientific backing and results. And like any good doctor doing their due diligence, I did try the products first on myself and really liked them, and also had someone who I know and trust, who has very sensitive rosacea prone skin, try and use them. And we both really like the products. And for me, it fits so perfectly in clinic. They're gentle enough to use post-procedure, but also powerful and effective enough to use every day. So for me, that medical device certification is also really important as a clinician, especially if I'm thinking about using products peri-procedure. And I also just really love the brand ethos. It stands in its own space. It's natural, it's minimalist, but also scientifically proven. And that for me, when something exciting like this comes along, I do want to offer that to my patients.
We are on trend that less is more, and as you said, ChitoCare is an Icelandic brand and really falls within that Nordic beauty philosophy. And so I guess sort of stripping the skincare routine back to basics is what resonates with your clientele. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a long time now, there's been a movement away from overcomplicated routines, for so many reasons, partly because everyone's time poor and rushed and wants good but effective and quick. But also because for so long, these really crowded routines with many steps and multiple active ingredients have been causing people barrier problems. For
Yeah.
example, on the most simple level, I've seen such an increase in cases of perioral dermatitis, which is this rashy condition that happens usually around here, sometimes around here, and is often related to the products we're using. So you're completely right. Something a little bit more minimalist that's supporting skin barrier health is absolutely on trend.
You have also mentioned that what was really important to you, Dr. Sophie, was the fact that ChitoCare has medical devices. And I think what a lot of people don't realize, that the active main ingredient we were discussing, Chitosan, has been used in medical community for over 2 decades, but it's mainly been used in the hospital setting
Yeah.
for wound healing, for burn victims.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only now that Chitosan is being put into, pharmaceutical grade skincare. Will you be using any medical devices in your clinics? Was that, important decision making?
It is for me important. Also, we do look after quite a lot of skin conditions. I have an amazing dermatology nurse, Verity, who works with me in London, and we do look after. Yeah, you've met her. You've looked after her skin on one occasion as well. She was very complimentary. Um, but yeah, we do look after skin conditions, and we see a lot of sensitive skin conditions. So, from a dermatological skincare side as well, we absolutely are going to be using the medical devices as well.
Fantastic. Um, Dr. Sophie, we do have some extra questions
Mm,
from some of our viewers. So
yeah.
just very straightforward ones that I'm gonna, give them to you in a minute. But
Mm,
if we was to summarize, what would be one thing that you would like our viewers to, take
mm,
away from this discussion? Anything you'd like them to remember about the ChitoCare or the Chitosan?
mm. So I think if your skin is stressed or sensitized or showing signs of aging, then this is a range that can really help through restoring calm and through rebuilding strength. It's from a natural origin, but backed by science, and it's really lovely to use.
Amazing. Now, Dr. Sophie, we have a couple of questions
Mm,
that were sent to us earlier on, and I think some of them we have actually, partially answered as we were chatting. But I like this one. I think, lots of people will have that question exactly about what you said, having a complicated,
mm.
18-step skincare routine that nobody has time for. Um, can you layer the serum with other active ingredients like vitamin C or retinol?
Absolutely, it layers really, really nicely. I would usually recommend applying it after kind of lightweight serums like vitamin C often is in the morning, and then put it on before retinol at night.
Amazing, thank you. Is it true you don't really need a complicated and step routine? Yes.
Totally. There are some people who I know love that, and that's their thing. And provided they're not overloading their skin, fine, it's personal choice, but it absolutely is not necessary. Cleanse, protect, and support your barrier. That is a lot more important than having multiple products on your shelf.
Do you think, um, what do you think, Dr. Sophie, is the biggest skincare mistake people make? Would that go back to having a complicated routine, do you think?
Yeah, and I guess also just overuse of really strong actives and also over exfoliating, which can be scrubs or acids. And these things do more harm than good. You don't, more is not more of any of these things.
Thank you. So we spoke, and I like this question as well because we spoke a little bit about um, compromised barrier, and we just have a question. How would a compromised barrier look like? A damaged barrier? Would they be presenting with certain symptoms? You mentioned perioral dermatitis. Anything else they should be
Yeah.
looking for?
So redness, tightness, burning of the skin, or products that can suddenly start to sting in a way that they didn't before. And you might notice as well that skin is more tight and sensitive in the morning after you've been evaporating water out of it overnight. And even flaring up of conditions like rosacea or acne or eczema, these are all actually conditions of the skin barrier. And at times where you're developing flare ups, it could be because your barrier has been destabilized.
Absolutely. Thank you. And we have one last one here. What's the one product you think everyone should use no matter they age?
I know I say this on repeat, but sunscreen. It has to be daily use of a good, clinically effective, broad spectrum sunscreen. It's still the best anti aging measure we have for our skin.
Isn't it just?
Mhm.
Dr. Sophie, thank you so much for taking time to be here with us tonight again. And, we are so honored to have you on board. And, we'll look forward to working with you in the future. But thank you. And for
Thank
those
you as
watching,
well.
we will be saving this in our profile grid. So keep sending us your questions, but you can always come back and revisit.
Have a great evening. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you, Dr. Sophie. Good night.